What if you had to choose between eating or having heat? Or how about finding some extra duvets to keep warm at night instead of turning on the heater? What if as a parent you had to go a few days without food to ensure your child has enough to fill their bellies? What about much shorter shower times to save on hot water costs, or that gut-wrenching dread of potential eviction as you find there's simply not enough money left for rent after paying for food, energy bills, and other necessities? These are just a few examples of what's been dubbed a cost of living crisis in the United Kingdom. At 6.2%, UK inflation in February surged to a 30-year high. Prices were driven higher in part by strong energy demand from a cold winter, but also from pandemic mismanagement, which aggravated supply chain and labor disruptions already straining from the multi-year Brexit fallout. The Bank of England is forecasting inflation to hit around 8% in April. With the UK deciding to follow in lockstep with the US to strongly sanction Russia over the conflict in Ukraine, Sharon White, chairman of UK department store giant John Lewis, warns inflation could even lunge to double digits. That would be punishing for even middle-income Britons, let alone poorer households struggling on a day-to-day basis. Energy prices are especially weighing on households. Come the start of April, UK energy bills are set to rise by 54% compared to last October. If the Russia-Ukraine conflict persists, energy bills are forecast to rise nearly 135% from last October to an average of £3,000 for a British household. This is a key factor in why many Britons are unfortunately having to choose between putting food on the table or putting heat into their homes. A broad coalition of anti-poverty campaigners, charities, consumer organizations, and more, called the End Fuel Poverty Coalition, estimates that 2.5 million British households with children will fall into fuel poverty once energy prices rise in April. Fuel poverty in the UK is defined as people being pushed into poverty due to the costs of meeting their basic need to keep warm. Decades-high inflation is storming through a rich nation that has persistently had a poverty problem. According to the Joseph Rowntree Foundation, an independent social change organization dedicated to tackling UK poverty, more than 1 in 5 Britons are in poverty. Even before the pandemic, 31% of children in the UK were living in poverty. And, according to the UK Centre for Aging Better, 2021 saw 200,000 UK pensioners falling into relative poverty, bringing the total to more than 2 million people, or 1 in 5 pensioners. High prices are also coming at a time when the Bank of England has started to drive interest rates higher to tame inflation. That means higher mortgage costs as well. Voices are becoming louder for the BOE to pause its rate hike cycle, with critics pointing out that higher interest rates won't do much to bring down the price of energy for British families. Finally, what also struck me was this chart. It's heartbreaking to see the number of people in the UK receiving 3 days' worth of emergency food by the Trussell Trust food banks skyrocketing by nearly 98 times in a span of 13 years. High inflation could translate into more trips to the food bank for many British families. The UK may not be in an economic depression, but for many in Britain, it could well feel like they're living through one.